we might be hitting 2 weeks. I know this video's coming out late, y'all. The shea butter whipped me. It spanked me with a switch. It took me 3 days to make that shea butter. It doesn't look like it on the video, but it did, because I started out with that small little whip. Oh, whipping it up. No. Hi y'all, this is Quita with the Quitassential Life, and I'm coming to you today with a video, the second in my own hair journey series, and I am here in this video. I'll link the first one over there somewhere, but in this video I'm showing you the products that I made for my 30-day Chebe challenge. That's the first video, showing you my actual hair. I've just taken out the Pocahontas braid, so I'm going to show you not only how I made the 3 products that I'm using that are Chebe based, but also how I apply it at night. So, I actually have already been using it for a little bit. It took me a hot minute to have the time during the holiday season to show you how I actually put it in my hair. So, I used 2 different Chebe powders. I used one for the water and one for the and one for the oil, and I used the oil in both the water and the whipped Chebe butter that I made, which was not as easy as you would think it would be. Okay, so this is everything natural, 100% Chebe powder. This one was Chebe powder, authentic from Chad, from ChebeUSA.com. So I used them both. You'll see how I used them both. So I want to just jump on into the video and show you how I made the product that I made. Stick around. Okay, and I'm just showing you here what I'm going to be using today. I already talked about the powders. So this is one of the powders, and this is the other. I'm also using different kinds of oil, avocado, grapeseed, the Caraca oil. I'll show you a little bit more about that later. Jamaican black castor oil. That's a little argan oil. That's tea tree and jojoba oil. Extra virgin olive oil. That's a little bit of Indian oil I had left. That's my spray bottle, my stocking caps. These are my essential oils that will be used throughout the process. And I'm just showing you the 2 pots that I will be using. So we are starting with making the oil. I'm adding the different oils in. As you can see, you see how that one is not quite liquefied already in its natural state. Neither is this one. But how you are making the oil is to combine all the oils on low heat on top of the stove and to pour the powder directly into it and let it simmer on low for 2 hours. That way you get the nutrients out of the Chebe. And here I have already poured in the actual Chebe powder, and I'm holding the camera with one hand, y'all, so sometimes I have to put stuff down. So now we are moving on to the water. I've boiled the water, and I have the Chebe powder in this stocking cap, wig cap really, using some tongs to help it stay down into the water. As you see, the water is turning brown. You might have seen some steam coming off of it, so the water was hot and bubbly when I put it in there. So I'm just really letting that sit. I've put some press and seal over it with the stocking cap hanging over the edge, now covered with oil. That will sit. Now we will move on to our oil. Our oil has been simmering for 2 hours, so just stirring it up now. I've let it cool down now at this point, stirring it again. And I've done my makeshift sifter here with a stocking cap over a ball canning jar. As you can see, I poured all the oil in, and now I'm just trying to let it seep through and strain through to catch all the oil. A little bit messy here. I'm squeezing out all the oil with my one hand that doesn't have the camera in it. But you see I made a pretty decent sized batch. Yes, it wasn't perfectly strained, but that part is not bothering me at all. And I am showing you the finished oil and how much I've gotten. Now we're going to move on to the water. It has been sitting for a while. Actually, I let it sit overnight, to be honest. And I'm pouring it in my spray bottle. And then I'm going to stirring up my oil, my Chebe oil, and I'm adding some of that into my spray bottle with the water as well. What you see here are the essential oils I'm adding to the finished product. Shaking the bottle up. The extra bottles you saw were the extra water I just put in containers and put it in the refrigerator, the square and the round bottle there. And we are moving on to making our Chebe butter. I have shea butter, coconut oil, mango butter, and cocoa butter. I have a pot of boiling water that I just put all my oils in and let it melt naturally, adding a little bit of my Chebe oil into the butter. I covered the bowl with plastic, put it in the refrigerator, and this is what we have here after some time. So you see I have a very small whip going on here that didn't really work very well. That's why I said it wasn't as easy to make as I thought. Here's what I ended up with after some time. I had to order a hand mixer. So I'm adding the vanilla, peppermint, and other essential oils here. After that was whipped in, I put my Ziploc bag into a glass to hold it up, where I put the butter into the bag, clipped at the bottom, and just started piping it in through the plastic bag into my containers you see here. So this is my butter. And I just would tap the bottom just to get it to go down. It was pretty fluffy, but it was a struggle getting here, y'all. I had to wait a few days to get the hand mixer. I didn't want to use my own KitchenAid. Final product, yay! Okay, so you see how I made the products, and now I'm going to show you what I've done. I did have grains come through that stocking cap. You know, I used this oil as one of them. I put pretty much what I had in the house to make the oil, and I put it inside of this. So let's see, here you can see I just filled it up maybe to the top of the label ish. I didn't fill it all the way up, but this is where I use it because I like having this top to put it on my scalp. Yes, I put it on my scalp. This is my spray bottle, and that I shake because I put the oil in here as well. Probably too much, but I've been using it, and I need a lot of the water, as you can see from the video. So I just refill this once it gets to the halfway mark, and I keep the water that I've already made that has a little bit of the oil in it already in the refrigerator. Okay, and then there's the butter that I made. So what I do, sometimes I unbraid my braid. In fact, let me braid one side back up so I can show you how I do it on both, what I've been doing. Okay, so I never braid it all the way down because it's too hard to undo sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to show you both ways that I do it. First, I moisturize. I shake it really good. Open up the cap and I spray. And it runs through my scalp because I got lots of new growth. But I'm here rubbing it in, make sure I'm getting it where it needs to go. So I'm moisturizing my scalp and the new growth. I want to make sure that line of demarcation between my permed hair, I am relaxed. Now I'm going down the length of my hair and making sure that is getting all the way through. I don't usually comb it. I am a low manipulation hairstyle girl. During this 30-day challenge, if I have to leave the house, I am throwing on a headband wig or baseball hat. I haven't had to go anywhere where I have to look cute. So, go to the grocery store, run the errands, you don't need nothing to go. So, try to keep it, you know, shake it up as I go along. And I get it pretty wet. I'm just doing this part for y'all because I don't usually, well, sometimes I'll comb it through, but I don't comb through my hair very often, whether I'm doing this or not. Okay, so we've got our hair moisturized. And since I'm on that step, this is how I do it on the other side when I don't take out the braids. Depends on how tired I am. I spray. Same thing, same area. Make sure it's saturated and lean because the liquid is rolling around my head. Okay? And then I will, once I know I've got that moisturized and spray on top and below the braid, I spray the braid and take it on down with my hand. Make sure I wet the ends well. Okay. So I feel it, the braid, to make sure it's moisturized. Shake it again. So that's the water step. Basically it's the LOC liquid oil cream, but it's just all Chebe based. Okay. Okay, y'all know this is the short side of my hair. This is the long side. That's in the video where I took the tape measure and measured everything. Okay, then we take our actual Chebe oil. Okay. I unscrew the tip and I run it through my scalp. Make sure I cover most of it. The hairline here. Okay, the back. And then I just massage that in. So new growth is getting all massaged. And it's growing, I have to say. Then I just take a little squeeze like a circle. Put it together. Y'all see it's got some shedding, but I haven't combed my hair, so that's the natural shedding. And I wipe down the rest of my hair. Okay. There's oil on the scalp, at the roots where the new growth is, and I take that oil down to the ends. I am massaging it into my scalp and the hairline. I showed y'all my problem areas in the first video, which includes my hairline, certain spots of my hairline. Okay. Now we're going to do the other side, same step. Okay, you can see the ball's open. And with the braid, I just run this down my hairline and make sure I dab it all over so all of my scalp gets covered. And people tell you not to put the Chebe powder on your scalp, but this is the oil made from the powder. So then I just massage. I go in there with the braid. Oh, my braid is going loose. It does that a lot, y'all. Sorry. But I do it sometimes with my hair out and with it braided. And of course, it's not cooperating because I'm filming. Okay? Going right back down with it to show you how I run the oil over the braid for step 2. So liquid, oil, that's the step we're on, and cream would be the Chebe butter. Okay, so again, I make the circle. Put that together. And I run it down my braid. Make sure I'm getting the ends. So that's what I do with that step. Then, for the oil, I go into my butter, emulsify. Emulsify so well, with little effort. See that? You see the shine? And then I run it through my hair. Concentrate on the tips and go in. Try to go in. Y'all saw that hesitation. It's a lot of growth going on up in there.
Okay? So I'm trying to make sure I get it close at the top. Also, that line of demarcation between your relaxed hair and your new growth, you want that to be strong. Okay? If I take my hair out like this for that step, the cream, the Chebe butter, then I go ahead after that and braid it back up. And the oil from all three of the steps is getting on my hands. I get a little bit more and I saturate the tips. Those are the oldest parts of your hair. So this side is done. This side, which is coming loose and not acting right, this is how it normally looks. You see, it's not really unraveling because I put the Chebe butter on it at the ends. Okay, so now the cream step on the hair that I kept braided. You put it all over there, all around it. No more. Concentrating on the tips, so you can go in and massage. You got the gist. That's how I do that. A bit more. In little pieces so I can go get it on me. Okay. And I put it right on the braid. Okay. So this is how I apply it. And then I either wrap up in a scarf or a bonnet. But I'll take it, wrap it around my head like this, and put the bonnet on, or tie the scarf on it. And that's it. I do it every other night. I'll feel my hair and see what I get back. If I get a little bit of shine and luster and it feels moisturized, I just go on and sleep. But I definitely don't go 2 days without doing it. So I'm basically doing it every other night. It might be sometimes I only spray it if I feel like there's already enough oil being retained. So that's how I'm doing my Chebe challenge. This is how I apply it to my hair. And I hope you guys are enjoying this Chebe challenge, and I will definitely be back with the third episode to show you what my growth is. If I break down before 4 weeks, because I got so much new growth, y'all, I can barely function, but I'm not having to function. So I'm trying to hold out and at a minimum be able to stretch it like I did to measure it in the first video before I like perm it, and then I would measure again from now on. And I need to trim all that. So I talked about my hair goals in the first video, which is to get my hair down fully with even ends to the small of my back. It's at the small of my back, but it's just the scragglies, as you can see on the first video. I'd like for it to be full all the way, so that means growing it out, cutting it, growing it out, cutting it, so the ends can grow out fuller. That's what I'm working towards. And hopefully the Chebe, which is supposed to strengthen the strands of your hair to maintain the length, but it's also supposed to help grow your hair faster. It seems like it's doing that because I've got a lot of new growth, y'all. Okay, I probably had this much new growth when I started. We are right here. Do you see that? You can see where the hair starts to get straight. You can see if I can zoom in a little, y'all. Okay, so I just pulled it and wet it, but you see there's a wave pattern until you get to right here where it's straight. So that's my new growth. And it was probably here. And I've only been, we might be hitting 2 weeks. I know this video's coming out late, y'all. The shea butter whipped me. It spanked me with a switch. It took me 3 days to make that shea butter. It doesn't look like it on the video, but it did, because I started out with that small little whip. Oh, whipping it up. No. I wasn't going to put it in my KitchenAid bowl lift because I don't think this stuff is edible. So I ain't mixing that up out during the holidays when I'm going to be using and baking with that pretty much a lot. So I didn't have a hand mixer. I had to order a hand mixer, wait for it to come, and then do it. And as I did it, it really wasn't whipping up the way I wanted. Put it back in the fridge, take it out, whip it up some more. Then I was like, okay, I need more shea butter to get the whip that I want. The consistency and the fluffiness that I wanted that you see in that bowl, okay? So yeah, it took a while to get there. So, again, this is Quita with the Quitassential. Thank you for joining me. Please stay tuned for this series. I'm excited to see where I end up and be able to show you that. Okay? Bye, y'all. Thank you. Subscribe, like, share, say, comment. Let me know what you think.